What is happening? What's up, cuz?
What's up? What's up? I
Man,
like
we're
that.
gonna. Yeah, that's the first time. They just loaded them in here yesterday afternoon. I was like, oh, cool. So nice little intro. Man, what a coming off of a great week. Man, powerful.
Powerful. If you were at Build, then you already know. If you were at Build, put it in the comments that you were at Build and anything that you took away from that event as why you should go to events.
Yes.
So we don't have to say it over and over again. I'm telling you, man, big decisions happen at big events. Super. I mean, it was incredible. Obviously, Tony Robbins is amazing, but all of the speakers were incredible. That was like my biggest takeaway was like, man, we have so many badasses at this company that we can't even get them all on stage. I mean, there's tons of people that deserve to be on stage as well. But the people that were on stage did a fantastic job. Honey Badger Nation represented multiple people in our org on stage, and proud of everyone. So it was awesome.
It was awesome. And, you and I, we talked about it a couple of times, and just the sheer incredible organizations within at EXP and the amount of production that they're accomplishing. And I was kind of joking, right? I was like telling, Andrew's going to probably do 1,700 transactions, and they probably won't crack the top 10, but they probably won't crack the top 5.
Right.
And which is a driving force for him. So he'll do everything he can to get him back into that top 3, category. But that's the whole point, right? Of what these behemoths, these organizations, what they're doing around production and what they're trying to do to focus on selling more than any other company, any other organization. So it was really powerful, really powerful. Because I want to jump in right off the rip. And so for you guys tuning in, we've condensed these calls down to about 20, 25 minutes. And the reason is that we transition right into a training with our secret weapon, our tool, the Rapid Funnel app that we are utilizing for our attraction efforts. And I got it here, honeybadgernation.com. If you guys have not been to the site that has everything in one location, honeybadgernation.com, get there, and then all of the information about the app is there. So what we do at 11:30 Central every Tuesday is we transition and we jump into a live training with the Rapid Funnel team. And they are taking it week by week, walking through one specific aspect of the app. They're doing it for 26 weeks. We're about in week 4, I believe, is kind of where we're at. And so those trainings are all inside of the library, inside of the coaching library on the app. But you can get everything that you need to know at honeybadgernation.com. So jump over there, and that's where we're going to be jumping next, is into that training. Albie, what's up, brother?
Hey, fellas.
What's up? What's up?
How's everything in the land?
Today it's a hair rainy, a little wet, but it's a good day. I already got a bunch done, and I'm about to head over to the Icon co-work with like 7 pairs of clothes, different changes of outfits to shoot about 2 weeks worth of content. So just getting her done, man. Ready for rock and rescue, and just push into next week. It's gonna be a fun one.
It's gonna be fun, and I know cousin and I get to come up and join you in the land for a couple of days, and then we're gonna rock it out with our boys after Midtown and Mr. DB himself. So really looking forward to next week. It's gonna be powerful. So I was kind of teeing cuz up before we went live, Al, and I want to have you guys really break down the real value of this company versus what's getting pushed down everybody else's throats with Real, with KW, with the independents, with the new upstarts, and all of the things that agents are being promised. And there's a lot of promises. They're selling, get in early, look what EXP did, look what you can have. And you guys study the models so deep and get entrenched, and you have so many conversations with agents on a daily basis. And what I was asking Cuz is to kind of break it apart in, third grade reading level, kind of just to articulate it out, what the real value and the real difference. So it's more so of our Honey Badger Nation being educated on really what they have. Because I had an agent tell me that this upstart company that has taken away a bunch of agents, their value proposition is we're better. What's better, right? And a lot of agents don't, what does that mean? Go deeper, be inquisitive. But I would love for you guys to just unpack that and help this Honey Badger Nation understand really what the difference in the value of the models and the value proposition, really what it's all about.
I'll give it a whirl.
Yeah, we could both go on for probably 2 hours on this topic, but Jay, go ahead and fire off, because I know you got something fiery on the end of your tongue ready to go.
Well, I mean, the first thing that I think about, well, first of all, is, what are you trying? The first question is always, what are you trying to do? Like that's where it starts. And so, if I understand what someone's trying to accomplish, I can better understand how we're going to help them. But at the end of the day, I'll give you an example. We had an agent that just joined, newer agent. I just did an announcement for her today, and she did her own research, looked at all the companies, felt like EXP was the better fit for her. She's going to get all the technology that she could get probably on her own. She could buy it. She could go to another company that may offer something similar. But at the end of the day, until someone goes in and helps build her some ads and shows her how to lead generate, shows her exactly how to follow up, how to use that tool, she's basically, that tool's useless to her. She's never going to, she's going to have to figure it all out, which, most agents don't take the time to do or don't know how to do. In all honesty, most agents trying to do Facebook ads are probably spending $20, $30 an ad. We're spending $2 to $3. And so, the difference is in, the actual getting to the goal, getting to the value. And that's the first place that I go. Like 75% of every room I've ever been in, when I asked them, hey, what if I could help you close an extra 2 to 3 deals a month, would that change your business? Every hand goes up, right? Like that's every agent's biggest problem is, how do I get more customers? And, generally speaking, if they're doing less than 20 deals, it's because they don't understand how to do marketing. Nobody's ever taught them. They don't have the tools, that sort of thing. And so that's just a real simple one. That generally speaking, like if this agent had not joined and had not become a part of Honey Badger Nation, she would not be getting on Braden's calendar. She would not be getting leads. She would not be closing a deal. She would not be putting something under contract on the next 2 weeks from the brokerage decision to move brokerages over here. Right. And so that's the first place I go. I don't know, Gal, what did you have? You had something on your mind there.
I mean, you're 100% spot on. I think my first reaction or comment to what you're saying, John, is that all this chatter is really just a distraction. And I'm not saying that we ignore the competition. But we've chose not to let it be a distraction. That's our choice. And what we chose to do is double down on what we've always done, which is helping agents grow their business and just keep delivering on the value, keep improving on the value, keep articulating our value proposition. And the second thing that popped into my head was this. I was on a call today with an agent who's been with us for 2 years. He's been in Honey Badger Nation for 2 years. And the story he was kind of telling me was that he went with us because of, everything that he's heard about Honey Badger Nation, all the training, everything that we've done. And for 2 years, and if you're listening, I'm not going to name. Shit. Sorry. If you're listening on this, don't take this, wrong way. This is a really good example of a problem that we need to solve internally. But, this person chose to come with us. He had many different people that he could have gone in a direction with, and chose because of, all the training, the agent attraction training, the things that we do like this every week, hiring in Coach Burks, this and that. And the gentleman hasn't plugged into one thing. He's killing it on the sales. He's an icon agent. His business is growing and it's doing good, but he hasn't plugged into one thing that we've been doing, even though he's been part of this group. And that bothers me because it makes, and we've had this conversation numerous times. Here's my belief. I believe that if if everyone that's on this call listening right now was committed to making sure that everyone in their organization was attending these trainings, attending these calls, getting the app. Like, he didn't even know we had an app. So, you know, and I take responsibility for it. I know Jada, I mean, I don't really have a solution on how, other than, you know, kind of going live and really getting the message out and repeating ourselves over and over again. I think that the best solution is that the leaders who are listening in on this call right now, make sure that you're getting that message out, because I don't believe that anybody who knows and experiences and has experienced the training and the connection and the collaboration and everything that we're facilitating within the group that isn't us, we're just facilitating it amongst y'all. I don't believe anyone would want to leave. And so, you know, John, I guess that's an indirect answer to a direct question, but I'm kind of scrolling through here, and I'll end on this soapbox here. Okay. The difference between them and us, they don't have Chuck Fazio. They don't have Glenn Sanford. They don't have Dave Kennard. They don't have Michael Valdez. They don't have Kyle Whistle, Dan Beer. They don't have Veronica. I can keep going. You know, like, we have the best of the best. And you know, there's a lot to be said from that. It's not like these companies, the competition's all of a sudden just gonna be able to duplicate our talent. They never will. It's a bold statement, but I'm gonna make it. They're not gonna duplicate the talent that we have in this organization of eXp Realty. They're gonna try. But what's gonna happen is the same thing that happened to Real. They're gonna get our leftovers. They're going to get our scraps. They're going to get the people who maybe weren't a fit. They're going to get people who didn't believe that we were going to 500,000 agents. They'll get them. And guess what? It ain't going to get them there. It may keep them in the race. They're going to be so far behind, they might as well wave the flag. They ain't going to wave the flag. Maybe they'll keep their head above water for a bit, but they're not going to get the talent. They ain't going to get Jay Kinder, John Kitchens, Mike Reese. None of those people are ever going to go over there, so they're never going to get them. That way, that meaning said differently, they're not going to have the talent pool that we already have that constantly adds value to the agents in this company. So there's my short answer.
And this is an ego question, and I'm just want to just lob it up there for you guys to knock it out of the park. You know, when they're sold the bill of goods that they missed the opportunity with EXP.
Right.
What do you like? Articulate that, because I know that there's potential people that want to be an influencer, that want to be this, and they're like, oh, that's already taken. I need to go over here so I can do that, which it's a whole mindset. It's a whole thinking thing, but I want you to kind of address that.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, and it is sad because, everyone's recruiting off our story, and, the thought is, well, if I got in early, maybe this would be my home run or whatever. Right. The problem with these other models, and this is something Glenn said early on, that's at this moment, I realized how brilliant the guy really is. He said, we're not trying to have, margins that are just killing it in terms of profitability, because we don't want to invite competition that can do it for less and try to compete with us. Well, that's what all the competition can do. They're not going to come out and be the exact same model. So what do? They try to do it on a 12,000 cap, or they try to do it on, a $7,500 cap. If you're some of these new companies, the reality is that we weren't profitable for a number of years early on, in the beginning stages, but it was bootstrapped. We didn't go get investor money to get investors to fund the growth of the company. Therefore, the shares of the company are retained by leadership, staff, and agents. So we are actually in control of the company. If these companies aren't profitable, which has historically been the case. I mean, go look at Compass, the most expensive real estate company ever to fail. And that's where they're headed, trying to become profitable. And they're taking 14% from agents, and their strategies to take even more. Their strategies to take. Why? Because they got to answer to the shareholders, and the agents aren't the shareholders. And so, when you have a founder-led company who has control, that has a debt-free company and is profitable, then the stock has more value than if you're a company that's trying to prove your model and you're trying to get to a place where hopefully the investors will, hang on long enough or continue to fund you until you get profitable. But the reality is most of these companies aren't going to ever get to scale at a place where they're actually lowering costs. So what do? They hire a little bit less talent in the broker positions. They hire a little bit less talent in the onboarding positions. They had to hire a little bit less talent in all of these different areas of the company that are extremely important for you to get the value of being at any brokerage. And so it's a race to the bottom of the brokerage game. They're either going to try to take more from you, they're going to change their model, take more from you. And if they do that, hopefully someday that they're profitable, but it's ultimately it's a kind of a bait and switch type of deal. And it was a concern of ours when we looked at EXP. It was, what's to say something's not going to change? We're at scale. Nothing changes. Nothing's going to change here. We gave out $170 million in rev share. By the time we're at 500,000 agents, we'll give out $1 billion in rev share. How much of that do you want to have? I mean, that's the bottom line. And do you think you would like to just get some stock for your production along the way, just because we give it to you? It's just something that, is built into our model. And so, yeah, I mean, do I think we're going to be, do I think the stock is valuable and going to be more valuable? Yes, we're already profitable. Find me another company that's trying to be us that can turn a profit with what they're doing. And so it's a bait and switch, and a lot of people just fall for it, unfortunately. But it's, it's not, do the homework. I mean, if you do the math and you understand the business model, you'd be crazy not to be here. My 7th level alone is worth more than all 5 levels at Real. It's just not even the same opportunity. It's not even close. And
hey, Jay, I want to add something to that too. And I'd like your thoughts on it, John. Our leadership has all sold real estate and build real estate companies, whether at their own independents, whether at Keller Williams, or whether at, Remax, or what other companies. Glenn Sanford, was one of the first guys that did an expansion team before expansion teams were cool. And, we have people in leadership like Dave Kennard, who's literally built multiple real estate offices. We have people in leadership like Michael Valdez, who's probably opened up on a global level more real estate offices than any human being I know. So when you think about the collective genius of people who are actually have sold real estate, they've been in the shoes, they've walked them many, many miles, not just in our shoes, but of the shoes of the agent who's trying to make it. Glenn Sanford started this business when it was 2009, and I don't have to remind you guys about 2009. It wasn't a year for me, and I don't think it was one of your favorites either. And that's when he started the company, and it's so monumental when you think about that, because who starts a real estate company in the middle of a real estate crash? Probably one of the most genius minds that we'll ever see in real estate. I agree, Jay. There's going to be a book written about Glenn Sanford. And I mean, I'm sure he'll write his own book, but I'd be interested in the biography about that man. I'll buy many copies of that, because it's going to be really a cool story, inspirational story to read about one day.
Yeah, it is. I mean, everything you guys are saying, and it comes down to, are they willing to put in the work? But yet it comes down to, what is it you're trying to accomplish? And it goes back to Al before we went live. He threw me the old Jay Abraham analogy, right? It's like, you don't want the drill, you want the hole. Like, what do you want? What are you trying to accomplish? And then how does this align best for you? And, it's just, I don't know. The thing too, is that you can't want it more than they want it themselves. And Al, we've talked about it, right? We believe they're all coming. It's just a matter of time. So when they get bait and switched, when they get bought, right, that's going to end at some point.
Yeah, Compass already announced that they're not doing cash incentives anymore. So that's over. And now anything, and I know we have the resident expert Rob Edwards, who came over from Compass, listening in too. But they're what's happening at Compass now is every little thing that they give you, if they do give you something, then you have to pay for that if you ever leave. And so there's little things that they're using to keep you stuck there, right? And it's just not how we operate. I mean, you read our ICA and you look at what you can tell a company's intention by reading your ICA. Are they doing everything they can to try to keep you from being able to leave? Meaning any business you have to walk away from. That's what Weichert does. Basically drops to zero everything, no matter where the business comes from. That's not a company that's looking out for your best interest. That's just, that's a company that can't compete in the marketplace. So what do? They try to take advantage of agents. And so there's plenty of companies out there like that. And, sir, I'm sure there's well-meaning people in all these organizations. I just wouldn't bet against us. I mean, why would you? Why would you ever bet against it? Because you're not just betting against the company, you're betting against every single one of us here. And this is the biggest collection of superstars I've ever seen in the industry. I don't think I would bet against us. Yeah,
Rob, you're 100% right. These companies are playing defense while Glenn and the leadership, they're playing offense, and they're playing offense for what's best for the agents on a daily basis. You really want to get down to it. That's really what's happening. They're playing so much damn defense. They're not focused on how can they add more value to the agents and help the agents grow and help lift the agents' lives up, because the more agents' lives are lifted, then the company's going to lift. And yet they're just scrambling to play defense, and it's not a fun position to be in when you're only thinking defensively, and you've got the gorilla here that's focused on doing nothing but playing offense. And so,
speaking
really
of
powerful
offense, can we talk about offense for a minute?
Let's talk offense. We got about 3 minutes, and then we're gonna bounce over to our.
All I'm gonna say is this: I was golfing with a gentleman. It was a bankers. It's called Bankers Cup. It's basically agents versus bankers. And the guy that we were golfing against, he was an ex CFO of an independent company local here in Northeast Ohio, and they ended up selling their brokerage. Now, this is a very smart individual. He's like, I ain't a realtor, I'm a bean counter. And anyways, they did get the owner of this Indy went against his recommendation. His recommendation is, man, you need to go EXP. They might be offering you a huge chunk right now, but you can get chunks for, not only you, but your entire generations for years after you're even dead. This is the way he decided not to go, and it is what it is. But, right now there's fear in the streets. So if you were ever waiting for the time when it would be a great, time to have conversations with independent brokers, I can't emphasize it enough. That's all I'm doing. If you looked at my board right now, it's independent brokers and big teams. And those are the conversations I'm having, because I know they need help and I know we can help them. And so tap into Chuck Fazio's story, tap into, our story, tap into, there's literally dozens. In fact, we need to get the video of at shareholders. John, you remember, I think you were in the room that Chuck led the panel.
Chuck's panel.
We need to get that on video and get it into the app, because it was absolute fire. There was like 6 ex-independent brokerages that had, come over and joined us. And I think the majority of all those people up there were honey badgers too. We need to get our hands on that. And everyone listening on this should watch that. Yeah. Because it's inspirational. And then you need to get that to independent brokers now, because they're scared right now. Yeah. We can help them.
And, if you guys, hit us up. I mean, we were the go-to place when you wanted to go independent. I've taken more agents independent than probably anybody else. And I mean, we have a blueprint of how to go independent, and that's what our belief was. And our belief was independent was better until EXP. And so, feel free to reach out. We can, show you the comparison, why we were building a behemoth independent and made the move over to EXP. And, it's not about bashing the other organizations. It's about, creating awareness in these agents, because at the end of the day, business is just math. The problem is that these damn agents want to bring all their damn drama into it. But if you remove the drama and you get down to the math is real simple. My favorite, and we'll end it with this with Chuck. My favorite shirt I've had on Expert Mentors is hashtag It's Just Math. And that was Chuck Fazio's shirt. It is just math.
Yep.
Love it.
All right. Love you guys. Appreciate y'all. Let's go get some rapid funnel training, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Love you guys.
See ya.